All right, so this is the second part of this kind of little backstory about how I ended up in Dubai. First part was all about the steps that led to me being able to move to Dubai. Bit of good luck, bit of hard work, bit of fortune. Regardless, you have to take a chance. And at the same time as they were saying my previous gym in the UK was going to close, this door opened where I had the chance to come over. But it wasn't a sealed deal, so basically I had to pay, or myself, my friend and I both had to pay out of our own money to fly to Dubai to do an interview. So we spent 3 days there, waited to see what was going to happen, came back, and then listened and let's just wait. Let's see if we get this job before we make any big decisions about what we want to do. Turns out we did really well. We both got the jobs, and it was from that point on. It was like, how do I then change things around? Now, my personal situation was, I've not long met my now wife, Jen, and it was kind of like, right, we've just started in this relationship, and then 4 or 5 months later, we just got a dog as well. It was like, right, Dubai is big time. Dubai, I know, is the place where you can make good money. And I've heard all the stories about millionaires throwing the money around. Oh, you don't need to do this, you need to do that. So it was the kind of, as far as I'm concerned, the land of opportunity. And it was worth the risk, it was worth the gamble. But there was going to be a price to pay for that, because I didn't want to let go of my life in the UK at this point. So we got the jobs, and then I think it was with maybe another month, it was time, right, you guys need to come over and help us finish off the gym. The gym was going from this concept called U Concept to a fully fledged gym called U Energy. And our job was to come in as basically lead trainers and put the systems in place that the gym would use, and basically just try and make as much money as possible in that time. Now, it was a bit of a nightmare, I'll be completely honest. When we first went over for our interview, the gym was in its very first stages of development. When we arrived in Dubai to start work, the gym was still nowhere near completion. And it was a very stressful time, because we almost left. It was like I was on the phone saying, I forget this, I think I'm going to come back. And the reason for this is I didn't have any income in the UK. Yes, we were getting paid in Dubai, but only as a base rate, no commission for personal training. And at the same time, Jen was living in my apartment with the dog. So every month I was paying a rent for the UK. I'd sold my car, I'd sold another car, and I'd put all my chips in. And if this didn't pay off, by the time I came back to the UK, then I would be having to start again from scratch, because the longer I was in Dubai, the less chance I had of bringing my old clients to another gym. So it was a really kind of risky kind of time. So anyone who knows Dubai knows that there's great people here, and there are also morons in Dubai as well. And the process of getting this gym to completion was troubled, to say the least. And I knew we were in trouble because I saw the guys trying to put the final touches to one of these kind of things. It was like a wall of shelves that was purely decorative. And the shelf was too short, and one of the Indian guys was grabbing it to pull it and started to try and bolt it. And the other guy at the other end tried to grab it to bolt it. And they were like, it was like the Chuckle Brothers. You pull, and eventually they realized after about 3 minutes, oh, this is the wrong size. They got the right size piece. Managed to fit it, you drill. And then they knelt on it to do the next one and put the knee right through it. And I thought, oh my God, what have I given up to come here? To not be ready to personal train and to have to be surrounded by these morons. And I turned around and there was a guy scraping dust into a dustpan with a broken CD. And it was like, how can this place exist the way it is when it's being put together by people you wouldn't trust to look after, a bowl of cornflakes? But anyway, these guys got the job done, credit to them. It was just a little bit late. So when things finally kicked into gear, it was reasonably successful for a short period of time. I would say that it was really successful for the trainers, but not successful for the owners. And I'll come back to that one. So I'll take you through a normal day. It would be a 6 o'clock start. I would do 3 hours. 6, 7, 8 till 9. I'd usually either train or I'd go back home for something to eat. Then I would come back at 12, 1, 2, or 1 till 2, 2 till 3, sometimes 3 till 4. Then I would go home again for a couple of hours. And then I would come back and maybe do a 6 or 5, 6, 7, or 8 o'clock. I'd usually be finished around about the 8 o'clock mark. So sometimes, often, I'd have 9 hours in one day. Some days I would be, 5 hours. Some days it would be 4 hours. I'm going to do a different video on what it's like to be a personal trainer in Dubai because there's so much to go over. I'm just giving you a snapshot of what my kind of day was like in this place. And this was where it came handy to have a location which I wanted to pick was very close to the gym. We could literally walk backwards and forwards from the gym. It was around about 6.5-minute walk. And this was right in the financial center. It was a very exclusive boutique gym, and all the clients were all CEOs, high net worth individuals. And this is the real benefit to working in Dubai if you get in the right place with the right people. Because Dubai is very, there's lots of different layers to Dubai, different levels you can enter. It depends on your experience, your nationality, it's a fact, this is the way things are. Your experience, your qualifications, about where you enter. So that was my normal kind of day, around about maybe 9 hours. After a little while of doing this, basically one of the people who was the owners was moved out, and I was chosen to be the manager of the gym. So I did a dual role where I was a manager and also a personal trainer. I reduced my personal training a little bit so I could do some more of the managerial kind of work. There wasn't a lot to do, in fairness. At this point, after maybe another year, year and a half, 2 years of this, it became kind of apparent that this gym wasn't going to survive. As soon as you get behind the curtain, you realize, okay, what are we dealing with? All right, this isn't great. At the same time as this happening, some of my clients expressed a bit of an interest in moving on. Because I would briefly explain, if you're a good trainer, you keep your clients. If you get the right kind of clients, you want to keep them, they're driven. And we're in a financial center, so there's a lot of hard work and switched on people. I managed to maintain those guys pretty much exclusively. I barely lost the client in that time. And a lot of those guys were expressing interest, new gyms were popping up, they wanted to move on. So I was with this situation where, I don't think this gym is going to survive. A lot of my clients want to leave, that they want me to come with them. So it's time to make an exit. And that was my next big move was, right, I'm going to leave. I'm going to set up as a freelance trainer, and I'm going to take most of my clients with me. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to save that for another video about how I decided to break away from being an employee to be my own employer, because I think it's worth covering as a separate video about how to set up your own business or what your expectations might be if you want to set up your own business as a trainer in Dubai.